Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika, and here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. So today I want to talk about having flexibility in your craft, having flexibility in witchcraft, in your witchcraft. So what am I talking about? What does that look like? So flexibility. So I'm going to give an example and also share something with you that I'm about to have a lot of fun with. So when I started, I am so sorry, someone's on my food. When I started started the top of the year, I had a planner. It's a happy planner, and oh, forgive the light, sorry. Anyway, this is my wellness planner, and I take a holistic approach of wellness. It's mind, body, soul, or spirit. So this planner represented that. So I have been using this. I decorated all pretty and cute with stickers and all that because I'm a crazy planner person and I get into it a lot. I like to decorate it. I like to record certain things, all that sort of stuff. So this wellness planner is great. But I wanted to also use it for the spiritual piece as well. The problem is, it just was like the color. I thought I could work with the pastel and the very light neutral colors in the inside, but I couldn't. It just wasn't. I wasn't motivated to actually write in here, so I was still. Although I kind of slacked off recently, but writing down my food log, writing down, weight, because it's wellness, the physical piece of it as well, and exercise routines and so forth. Yeah, and my goals, my intentions, that sort of stuff. So the goals and intentions as it relates to my overall health, as far as my physical and, my food, nutrition, all that, yes, this is a great place for that. But it wasn't working for the witchy stuff, for my witchy side, my witchcraft. So the Happy Planner came out with this one, and it says, I'm trying to do this so this silly light's not in the way, but it says you are magical, and it looks magical. So come on, how can I not buy this? Anyway, it starts in July. That's the first month is in July. And this planner is witchy. Here I can kind of go off. I can really go into my plans, my tarot readings, my intentions, topics and things that I might want to talk about here. I could jot it down here just to kind of dump. I've even added a section and extra paper for my tarot readings. I got a lot of stuff in here. Then I got these intention pages that I had always had, so I have now, it actually matches this book more. So this little half sheet, I bought a bunch of these, so I could put these in, during the week, and for its intentions for the week. So I feel comfortable, kind of having that in this space now. It just aesthetically is more pleasing, and it makes me want to write in it. It makes me want to me, this is supposed to be my witchy spiritual journal and, planner. So I'll, be filling this up, starting with July, with, the new moons, basically the lunar cycle, and, any sort of pagan holidays and so forth, and celebrations that I plan on doing. I can schedule my rituals and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'll definitely be sharing that here, because I know some people are kind of planner nerds like me, and you just happen to practice witchcraft on top of that. So I don't mind sharing. I am going to either, I was going to buy stickers from Etsy and just print them out, because I do have full sheet label paper, so I was going to do that and really go all in, instead of kind of making other stickers fit this, finding stickers and washi tape that really represent, witchiness, all of my witchcraft that I'm trying to include to this planner. So I want to go all in. And I know me, I'm probably gonna create templates and stuff like that, and little inserts for other types of things that I want to do, like, little check-offs for the day, like, did you, pour water out for the ancestors today, or did you do this, like daily check-ins. Did you meditate? Did you take 5 minutes, 3 minutes to meditate today? Something like that. I'll speak it the way, the words will be what makes sense to me. So anyway, I'm super excited about that. But this is what I mean about having flexibility in your witchcraft. I purchased something. I thought I could use that planner because I wanted a holistic approach, which I still do when it comes to my health. It's helped me is, everything, how I feel, how I, physically feel as far as, pains, gas, whatever, what's going into my body. And, the spiritual piece, because if you have a stomach ache and you don't feel well and you feel bloated and you feel, really bad, it's really hard to practice your witchcraft effectively because your stomach hurts, or you're in pain or whatever, and all that's, it all makes sense. And now you have anxiety because you're concerned about how you're eating, and mind, body, soul. I digress. So flexibility, so the practical stuff, it's not always the big stuff, it's sometimes just the practical stuff of just knowing this makes me practice witchcraft a little bit better. This makes it more interesting and more fun, and keeps me engaged. I love the gold. I love the gold against the blue. Anyway, this is what I need. For me to this is one more thing that I need to use, because I enjoy writing. So if you're not someone who enjoys writing things down all the time, but you kind of like the idea of what I'm doing, the aesthetic, you are the person who wants to go all in with stickers, stencils, stamps. Just find the witchy stuff, and a lot of it is available on Etsy. Yeah, get that stuff. A lot of it you can print from home. You can learn if you're really artistic and you know how to draw. I'm a stick figure person. I don't know how to really draw very well. So if you actually have a little bit of talent with that, go off, do it. Put it in your book. So maybe words aren't for you. Maybe it's just images, pictures, and cutouts, and other people's words, and you can clip that and paste it, and make it pretty, make it nice, make it make sense for you, that it's inspiring, and it sort of encourages you with your witchcraft. But you gotta have the flexibility of knowing that, hey, I'm not somebody who keeps a grimoire where I write all these spells down, I do all this. Maybe you do it and just take a picture of what you did, and your grimoire is more pictures, or drawings, because you're not somebody who writes stuff down. You're just not comfortable with that. So yeah, do that. Have the flexibility of knowing that about yourself, and using that, using your talents, using your skills, what you're good at, as opposed to, kind of laboring over what you're not good at. So those are kind of practical things about, having flexibility in your witchcraft. Here's another one. Some of us, especially right now, are quarantining with people who have no idea that we have any interest, let alone refer to ourselves as witches or practice witchcraft. So you've probably had to have a lot of flexibility in practicing your witchcraft, to the point maybe you're not doing anything at all because you just don't feel comfortable, in your space. It's just not possible. Again, I have a video about, a day in the life of a, like a closet witch. I forgot what the name of that video is. Day in the life, DITL. Did I put closet witch? I don't know. If you can't practice your witchcraft out in the open. But anyway, find that video, or I'll find a way to link it in a minute if I can remember when I'm done with this. I walk through, a lot of it is mental, you can use some tools, but it's not quite, the way maybe everybody else is going to do it, who can just kind of live out loud and have it out in the open, in their space. So adopt that philosophy for now. The quarantine won't be forever, and right now maybe that's something you have to do. That's okay. That's okay. Have the flexibility of understanding this is a time to go in secret. Hey, throughout history that has happened, where practices that were considered sacred, that were considered, agreed on by, the masses, or at least your village, the people you were with around. They all agreed these were sacred, rituals and things that we did. And then one day, it wasn't. And the following days, it was punishable if you tried to continue to practice something, that you thought was sacred, and you have to do this other thing. So, all those people didn't just stop practicing. They just did it in secret. Because it is sacred, it was sacred. So same philosophy, understand, be flexible in understanding this doesn't mean you stop. It just means you do it different. That's all. And just be flexible enough to know that, and understand that you'll get a chance to do it the way you used to, or even more so at a later date. But right now, this is the way you're going to have to do it. And it doesn't take from your magic, because you are magic. So there you go. Just again, speaking on flexibility. So what happens if you don't want to be flexible? Not even just the witch is still in the closet, but just in general, if you don't want to be flexible, this magic works for you. And I'm talking to those who have been doing actual spells and workings, and it's worked. You've been having some fun with this, and it's been very successful. You've had very successful spells, and you don't want to. What do you mean flexibility? You're not really interested in changing anything, because everything's working just fine. Don't be so rigid, and realize that you might not need to kind of kick it up or slow it down, or just revamp occasionally. It's kind of like when we decorate. You decorate the house, you get the new furniture, you put all the final touches, you're like, oh, it's done. I don't have to do anything else. And I know people like this. They'll say, I don't need to do anything else. It's done. These are the people 20 years later, their living room is the same living room from 20 years ago. Done. When they said done, they meant it. It's done. No more, no less. This is all that we're doing in this room. This is the level of decoration I will ever reach in this room. Nothing more. And if that sounds a little, extreme, you're doing that with your witchcraft. This is the level of magic I want to do. No more, no less. I'm done. This is perfect. It's working. I'm not going to change a thing. Is that really great? No, you want to grow. Gosh, guys, we all have purpose here. And I talk about witchy purpose. So maybe you want to kind of revisit witchy purpose. That in itself is having some flexibility, because now you're thinking a little bit broader, a little bit bigger for yourself. What is, if you're having successful spells and you're doing great things, maybe you want to reach out to other people and help them. Excuse me. Maybe this is a time to broaden the scope of your witchcraft, and maybe you want to help other people because you have had so much success. I'm not talking about maybe charging people and things like that. I mean, people maybe you want to open up to people a little bit more and see if, one thing, let me just say this, I'm getting tongue-tied. People tend to like when you tell them, hey, I'd like to help you. I'd like to help you, do this great thing that you want to do. I'm going to, do this magical working to make it possible. Even if they don't necessarily believe all the way, a lot of people are flattered that you want to help them. Of course, I'm talking about people that these people probably going to have some idea that you do the type of stuff that you do. Don't roll up on, your grandmom or somebody with this information and expect them to just kind of go with it. They need to get over the first part that you're a witch. So easy on that. I'm talking about people we know. So most people are very accepting of you doing something for them. So that's something to think about. Maybe you want to share your information. Maybe you don't want to do workings for somebody else, but maybe share, start a YouTube channel, write books, join different internet groups. Facebook is great for that, where people share information. They don't have a platform themselves, but they kind of show up in various comments about information, and they provide knowledge and resources and links. Hey, you people who are like that are seriously valuable, because you help when there's a bunch of newbies and they're just kind of sharing their information, but they're not really moving past level 1, so to speak. and you have somebody asking level 2 and 3 information. So you can come in there with that information and be super helpful, like immerse yourself in the culture, immerse yourself in the witchy culture, get to know some people, share that information. So that could be a way for you to, sort of expand a little bit more and just be open, be a little bit more flexible with your witchcraft. Huh? Okay, so if you are new and you're like, how can I be flexible? I'm still, on figuring out what crystals do. So that's cool. Your whole walk is about being flexible. Everything you learn as you go forward, you're going to have a level of flexibility, because some things contradict, especially when you start talking about different spiritual paths, different pantheons. Man, it could get, so you're going to have to kind of be very flexible about that. Also, you can learn all this stuff, right? This is something I went through. You learn all this stuff. I went down a certain path, spiritual path, Wicca, just to realize, yeah, I don't want to be Wiccan. I don't want to be Wiccan. So, I'm running up into, obstacle here, stopgap, ideology. It's not making sense to me. So you have to allow yourself that flexibility to be honest with yourself and to do something about it, and to open yourself up to the prospect that, hey, maybe this is not my path, and that's okay. No one's judging you, and maybe you want to change paths. So keeping that level of flexibility about, your spiritual path and your practices is super helpful, because you can, kind of make that switch into something else, or become eclectic and have a little bit of everything. And I think if you are calling yourself sort of an eclectic witch, you already are flexible, because you sort of have to be, right? So yeah, those are just kind of my thoughts on being flexible in your witchcraft, depending on where you are in your studies or where you are in your practice, because you're always learning. And if you are someone who thinks like me and you think you're always learning, then you're probably already flexible too. It's kind of hard to not be doing this type of stuff that we do. And I just gave, like, my one little example of this. Like, this is my latest level of flexibility. And yes, I also wanted it. But before I even saw the planner, I knew I was not working with that other one. I knew, because I wasn't using it. So that's how I knew it wasn't working. I just created a grimoire recently, and I have started writing in it. Not as much as I thought I would right off the bat, but to me, the flexibility is more of a mundane issue. It's more about prioritizing what's important. Is it important for you to, look at videos, or write this, or brainstorm this stuff, or watch some Netflix stuff? Is that more important than getting, all this stuff in your head on paper? What's, at this moment, what's more important? What do you value? So it's more of a mundane issue, more so than it's not working for me, I don't feel motivated. Sometimes we have to motivate ourselves. So keep that in mind too when I talk about having flexibility. You don't throw the baby out with bathwater. Maybe it's possible that you kind of need to motivate yourself, and it's not so much that the thing that you're doing in your craft isn't working. Maybe you need to work on you, and then it will work, because at some point it made sense in the beginning. So you kind of just want to address, why doesn't it make sense now? Maybe it's your lifestyle, maybe it's you, maybe it's your way of thinking, maybe it's distractions, right? But have the flexibility and understanding that. That's all I'm preaching, that's all I'm saying today. So thanks for watching. Again, this is Mika with Retaken. Go ahead and like the video, please, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. And if you have subscribed, thank you very much. All right, bye-bye.